This is part one of our 4-part video series for our Healthy Henry 2020 Weight Loss Challenge. This information is going to not necessarily apply to everybody. If you have an underlying health condition or for these specific numbers that I'm going to be throwing out in this video may need to be altered based on your height and weight. But in general, in order to lose weight, we need to be in a caloric deficit of about 500 calories per day for a whole week to lose 1 pound. So first of all, what the heck is a caloric deficit? This means calories in, meaning how much we eat from food, has to be less than calories out, which is how much we burn just from existing. That's called our basal metabolic rate, plus the amount that we burn from physical activity. So that's all calories out. So again, calories in has to be less than calories out by about 500 calories per day. Now, that deficit, that difference between those two numbers is going to be made up by our fat stores. So what your body does is it reaches into our fat stores and it takes those out and it uses them in order to burn energy to make up that difference from what we didn't eat in a day. Now the challenging part is we need to be in this caloric deficit of 500 calories per day for a whole week in order to lose 1 pound. And so for example, if you're currently taking in about 2,200 calories per day, we now have to drop that down to 1,700 calories per day, which is really challenging to do. So here's a couple of ways that you can make that happen. The first thing is you can reduce the amount of food on your plate by about 25%. So you take a look at sort of your normal portion sizes for any meals or snacks that you're currently having, and you just reduce those down to about 3/4 the amount that would usually be on your plate. Keep in mind that this means you may have to drink more water or have more fiber to keep you feeling full, but we'll address that at another time. The second thing that you can do in order to have this caloric deficit, if you're a big snacker, just cut out snacks altogether. Focus on having 3 healthy, balanced meals. Again, we'll cover that in another video. But what this can do is that can be an easy way of drawing a line in the sand to keep your calories down by 500 calories per day. The third thing that you can do is actually something, instead of having it be 1,700 every single day for the week, and again, these numbers might vary for you depending on your current caloric intake and on your size. But instead of doing 17 every day and trying not to mess up, because most of us tend to have one sort of mess up or cheat day a week and having that go out the window, what I recommend doing is a little bit of pulsing. So you might go 1,500 calories, 1,500 calories, 2,100 calories, 1,500, 1,500, 21. And what this allows you to do is feel like you're having a little bit of a variety and a little bit of a cheat day, even though those numbers are still putting you in an overall caloric deficit for the entire week of 500 calories per day on average. Every once in a while you get a little bit extra versus a little bit less, and it makes us feel a little bit less restrictive. So those are 3 different ways that we can use, but the whole lesson with this video is that typically we need to be in a caloric deficit of 500 calories per day for an entire week to lose just 1 pound. The one last point I want to make on this video is that you should not be losing more than 1 to 3 pounds per week on average. If you're losing more than 3 pounds per week, that's too much. You've gone too far with your caloric deficit. You need to adjust those numbers because this is considered a crash diet and it's not going to last. So if you have any questions, please leave those questions in the comment section below and I would be really happy to address those. And stay tuned for my other 3 videos about our Healthy Henry 2020 challenge.